Welcome, everyone. I am so happy that you're able to join us on this wintry evening in March, all the way in March. That's Colorado for you, right? I'm happy that it is snowing, though. Maybe we'll avoid a drought this year. Fingers crossed, right? As we get started today, we are going to be looking at management and financials. Entrepreneurs have been hard at work, digging into their businesses and taking a look at their management cycle, along with what does their finances look like, doing a financial projection workbook. I have a couple of announcements. I'll do the rules of the retro just in case you've forgotten them from last time. We'll have our entrepreneur presentations, and then we will have a feedback forum. So we will do some breakout rooms. You'll get a chance to kind of just network and mix and mingle with entrepreneurs who are outside of your normal team, and get a chance to just learn more about each other and give live feedback to entrepreneurs, and entrepreneurs is a chance to meet some of the other mentors too, and maybe expand your network a little bit. Don't forget to opt in to the new RMMFI newsletter. It is through a new system, so we're asking everyone to go ahead and resubscribe. So if you've gotten a newsletter in the past and you've enjoyed them, please do sign up for it again. It's pretty simple. It's just www.rmmfi.org/newsletter. These are packed full of information regarding what's going on with our entrepreneurs, celebrations with their businesses. If they are doing events, we like to also share some of their event information. So for all of my entrepreneurs on the line too, if you ever have something to celebrate, feel free to share it with someone on our team. It could be me, it could be Veronica, or someone else in staff, and we can always put a request in to have it shared on our newsletter. And Sarah Kraft is on the line. She's amazing. She does a lot of our marketing for us. So thank you, Sarah, for putting those out. Mark your calendars. So some really cool, fun news, Idea Lab pitch night and boot camp graduation. We did get approved to do it in person. I know most of you weren't planning to have it on person on April 7th. So if for some reason you cannot make it in person, that is okay. We respect that. We know we originally set things up to be all virtual due to COVID. And so we will have it as a hybrid option. But if you can make it in person, we would love to have you there. It's going to be at Revision, and we will have an RSVP form come out just so that we can make sure that we keep up a decent size in the room and we don't pack the room too full, as we still want to make sure we respect people's comfortability with COVID and everything. More information, like I said, will be coming out about this option along with the survey. So just keep an eye out in the next week or two. But for now, check your schedule, see if meeting at 5:30 in person is a good option for you. The other thing to tell you, I know we had an entrepreneur say, well, hey, I might get stuck in traffic. I'm so used to just being online, but I want to be there. Know that we usually have about 15-20 minutes of like open networking at the beginning, and we let everybody get their food and drinks and things like that. So definitely know that you still are welcome to come, even if you feel like you might be maybe 10-15 minutes behind. So the rules of retro. Tonight, like I had mentioned before, we are going to be looking at our final two pillars. We're going to be looking at management and financials. Can you believe it? We're already 2/3 of the way through boot camp, 12 weeks. And we've already done what, like 7 or 8? 7. Yeah. So I'm really excited for tonight and just to see the growth that all of the entrepreneurs have been experiencing. The big rocks that we've been looking at are the launch and ongoing strategy. What are your capital needs? Those might have changed from retro number 1 now that you have more information about the business. The key success indicators, so the KSIs, And then also revenue cost, profit, cash flow, and assumptions. And if you all don't mind, if you're not presenting, please put yourself on mute. That would help keep down any background noise. Thank you. So in true fashion, just like last time, entrepreneurs were given about 9 slides in 6 minutes. I will, entrepreneurs lovingly stop you if you're running over, just because, like I said, we have quite a few of you to get through the presentations, and I want to leave ample time at the end for us to at least have some networking and connection. The format is that entrepreneurs will present. I will control the slides. So if I'm not keeping up with your pace, just say Sydney, next slide, or next slide, and I'll be able to keep it going. Only mentors and staff will fill out the electronic scoring forms. So other entrepreneurs, if you want to take notes for your fellow cohort members, you're welcome to do that separately and email each other directly. That's always really nice. And I know this class has been super generous doing that. But in regards to the actual electronic scoring forms, that is just for mentors and staff to complete. Each presentation has its own scoring form, and Veronica is on the line. She will definitely be able to drop those links into the form. And you just click on that and it will pop up for you. This is a little fast paced. I think most of you are at the last retro, so you'll get the flow of how you can take notes. Feedback is anonymous, and all scores and comments are shared with the entrepreneurs. So anything that you give a 3 or below to, please give some feedback on as to why. That constructive feedback will help folks to understand, okay, this is why this person rated it a 3, and where maybe I can possibly improve upon in this topic. And then the feedback forum, like I said, it's just a little bit of open networking. So you get to chat with an entrepreneur, you get to actually provide your feedback in person, encouragement, and sharing ideas and suggestions. About feedback, just high level, positive, honest, pretty much constructive. And what's at stake tonight is that based off of the scores that are given, entrepreneurs can earn up to $600 towards their launch loan eligibility. And I encourage folks just take note of if any businesses stand out. What's been really cool and what I love about doing Retro and having so many folks on the line is we've actually made some connections between like mentors and entrepreneurs, and they've worked together and actually have like purchased services or recommended them out in the community. So if someone stands out to you, make note of their information so that you can connect with them afterwards if you would like to, or you can always email me or Veronica and we can get you their information as well. So we are going to be presenting in this order. We will have Irina, then we will have Naisha, we'll have Tyrone, Ashley, Tanika, Carrie, Tara, Jesus or Chucho, Rebecca, and then Kiana. And without further ado, I think Irina, I saw you on the line. Is that correct?
Yes, I am here.
Perfect. Well, whenever Veronica just dropped your form in the chat, let's give everybody 1 minute to get that up. And then when you're ready, you can get started.
Okay, let me just start my video here. And can you guys see me?
Yes, we can see you.
Okay.
Yeah, you look great. Yep, we can see you.
Thank you. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Irina, and I am the founder of Cookies and Cakes, your healthy bakes destination. I specialize in gluten-free, dairy-free, vegan, keto, and other healthy dessert options for those who have either food intolerances, health condition, or simply have a specific lifestyle. I can create a custom recipe just for everyone. My management launch strategy. So first and foremost, website. That has been my number one kind of a priority, and the most time-consuming aspect of startup is making it work. And so far, it has been a little bit challenging, and I'm reaching out to other people in the network to see if I can get some assistance. Another strategy is every door direct mail that also is in the works. I'm partnering with another entrepreneur, and we are going to be doing it in the next couple of weeks. And the next bullet point is a Women's Business Enterprise National Council certificate. I've also, thanks to you, Sydney, I've reached out to Monique. She kind of coordinated with Dr. Pamela Williamson, and she approved me for scholarship to move forward with this certificate. So this is kind of a big deal. This will open up a lot more opportunities with large retailers eventually. Then for my management ongoing strategy, I would like to inquire more about receiving grants. That way I can expand operations and cover costs. So it's not going to be coming out of my pocket, let's say, but if there's any resources out there, I would like to see if I'm eligible to receive some of them, or at least, partial. And that can be on state or federal level. It also, because of the patent, future certificate, I can win some contracts to sell at a large retailer like Whole Foods or Target or even Walmart, or maybe some other stores. Increased sales is another one. So once this website is set, I believe that it will help me tremendously to increase my sales. Maybe attend a few farmers market in the summertime. Another strategy is to improve marketing strategy, and that would be also through the every door direct mail or social media. And as far as the key success indicators, so sales will be my number one kind of indicator that am I doing good? Am I moving in the right direction? Do I have enough, are my contracts increasing? Do I have enough of revenue and customers coming in, whether it's private or on a larger scale? Subscription services, recently a couple of customers inquired to do a subscription monthly service. So that will also help me to have a consistent flow of sales. The next indicator would be cost of advertising versus revenue. So how much of a return is being generated from, what I'm paying into advertising. And then of course, customer feedback. Are they happy? Do they like what they're purchasing and eating? Are they coming back for more? Is there anything that I need to improve? Should I implement maybe a referral system? I'm open to all feedback, and customers are number one priority for my business, and I want all of the feedback, good and bad and everything. Then for the financial revenue assumptions, currently the average per unit that I calculated is $46.25. And that's considering all the products that I make. And as far as units sold per month, that currently varies because I don't have it's so sporadic. It depends on the holidays. It depends on the time of the year. It just, there's a lot of factors that go in it. So I don't really have a specific number for that. And then also, we'll be implementing a system eventually to track number of units sold per month. Currently, I do it all kind of by hand in Excel. And maybe there's a way to do it through a website to kind of help me out and track it better. For cost assumptions, so currently average is $30 to make a product. If there's any delivery fees, that was extra. And then I also included that, it depends where I'm going and how far. So mileage, where of the car, time, all of that counts towards the delivery fee. Immediate fixed costs. So time to prepare alone is about 2 hours. Ingredients only about 30. I haven't figured out appliances, utensils used, and also electricity, water, phone, and internet. That's something that's going to be my homework to do for the upcoming months, because that's also an immediate cost to produce. Next, profit assumptions. This was kind of a challenging part for me. And I'm estimating 40 to 50%. And as far as how many units I must sell to break even, I'm not sure at this point yet. Since it varies so much, I guess I would have to do a little bit of time investment and study the worksheet a little bit more in depth to understand the numbers. And I apologize, my kids are home, so you have an extra side effect. Cash flow assumption. All payments are due. I'm sorry. Can we pause?
Yes, you are totally fine. This is real life. You got children. It's okay.
Yeah. Cash flow assumptions. All payments are due 2 days prior to the order as confirmation. For monthly subscription services, it will be due the first of each month. And then for wedding contracts, agreements will be due a month prior to the actual the date that before the date. Oh my God, I'm so sorry, guys. And then I guess my last one, capital needs. Creating a website, cost of advertising, plus promotional stuff. Insurance and time invested. Thank you.
All right, you made it. No, you did great. Listen, this is not the first time, nor will it be the last time. Okay.
I hope it's the last time with these at home and me doing business. Oh, I think I got some gray hairs.
No, you did great. You did
some free
great
highlights. Job. Can you see?
No, I can't. Your hair looks wonderful. No, I mean, gray hair is wonderful too, but you look good. No, you did great. Great job. You're getting lots of love in the chat. Folks understand. Many of us have children ourselves. So good work, Irina. We can tell that you really dug into your numbers, and yeah, thumbs up. Awesome. So I'm going to give you all a second to go ahead and wrap up your feedback. Irina, I want you to know too, kids do not affect your feedback at all, by the way. So I don't want you to be nervous about that or anything. This is all about your content, and like that's the base of your information. And next on deck, we have Naisha. Naisha, I saw you on the line just a second ago. Are you still here?
I am still here.
Awesome. Okay, so let's give everybody just one more minute to wrap up their feedback for Irina, and then open up your form. And when you are ready to get started, go ahead.
All right, let me know when you want me to start.
Counting down. You're good to go.
Okay. So my name is Naisha, and I'm the owner and creator of KJ. We specialize in making mindful products. We ensure that every customer has a piece of unique and custom gemstone jewelry, flavorful herbal teas, and tinctures that nourish your body. Here at KJ, we work to provide a different outlook on the physical and spiritual well-being. We can be found on Instagram, Facebook at KJ Jewelry. So tonight, because I'm already in business, I want to show you how I'm going to grow my business, how my business is going to go to the next level from where it's at now. So in order for me to do that, I really have to get my website and also my social media in a better position. So that way customers will flow to that. Even though my business is a mobile business and I'm usually doing trade shows, events, things like that, I need to find a way to be in front of my customers when I can't be there at a show. So the first on the list is actually getting the website up. And through the website, I will have subscription services. I'll be able to monitor how many people come to my website and how to grow the business and what items are selling. Through the social media, I can kind of flow people to the website. Also, two main things right now is buying beads and herbs to kind of protect myself against inflation, because things are getting crazy right now. Just like gas, every day is going up 10 cents. So I definitely want to make sure that I protect myself fast so I can keep my cost at a certain price point. Next slide. So for my ongoing strategy, I broke it up to what needs to be done first. So the first thing on deck is getting the website up and going. So that way customers can reach me, even if they don't see me face to face, they can set up subscription services to buy the tea on the monthly services, also the tinctures. Also too, buying in bulk, because right now inflation is going up. Also being able to have supply and demand issues to kind of protect myself from those issues. Another thing that's going to be looked at for months 4 through 6 is going to be vending at least 6 different shows, events, pop-ups, trade shows a month. So that way I can push people to go to my website and to my social media to stay in contact with me and to buy my product there as well. Build followers on social media. And then months 6 through 12, I really want to start looking at my wholesale part of my business. I do sell wholesale now, but I want to increase that to at least 3 to 7 months orders per month. And then next slide. So some of my KSIs that I'm going to be looking at probably for the next year is how to grow the business, how to push people to see me and to connect with me when they can't be right in front of me. So one of the things that I do is tea samples. For every tea sample that I give out, I make people follow me either on Facebook and Instagram, so that way they can stay connected with me. Once I built that up, having Facebook and Instagram campaigns, so that way I can put myself in front of at least 1,000 people per month. And that will grow my traffic to my website by hopefully at least 30% of the next 6 months. My KSIs for operations is also getting feedback from customers. Once that website is built, I'll be able to get feedback through the website. And then also through social media points, I'll be able to get feedback from customers as well. In order to be able to maintain that demand, I have to at least create 50 to 80 bracelets, women and men's, per month, and also making at least 30 bags of teas per flavor that I offer. So for the KSIs, making sure that my profit margin for each item that I sell is at least 40%, whether it's wholesale or me selling directly retail. And then also growing my business through my website by at least 10% monthly as well. And how I'm going to do that is through the Facebook and through the website as well. And then keeping customer retention, which means a subscription services where people can buy the teas and the tinctures on a subscription basis. Next slide. So 2 of the revenue assumptions that we're going to look at on this page is going to be the men bracelets and also the teas. So for the men bracelets, my average bracelet is about $40. So if I sell 20 per month, that leaves me a revenue of $800. Same thing with the tea. My most popular tea is Build It Up Immune. It's $12 a bag. If I sell 40 of them, $480 there. Next slide. So for my cost of goods sold, now we're going to look at the women's bracelets. The average cost that it costs me to make a women's bracelet is $9.34. If I sell 20 of them, I'm at $186.80. For the fixed costs, I kind of took a look at my top fixed costs that I actually need in order to grow. And that's going to be my registration and insurance, travel and gas, which will probably go up. my website, phone, internet, and my subscriptions are going to be my QuickBooks and also my Canva. So next slide. So my average net profit, as you can see, is $39.40. My cost of goods sold is going to be $837. In order for me to kind of maintain that for like my break even, I least need to do $2,000 per month, which equals out to $66 per day. So I need to sell at least 95 units per month. Is a breakdown on that. And then next slide. So for my cash flow cycles, customers do pay for their product when they get it. If they order it online or through over the phone or anything like that, they pay for it up front. Then they, I ship it out to them. If I'm doing custom orders, I take at least 50% of whatever the cost of the custom order is, or at least the cost for materials. And then also you can see on here is what I plan to do with my net profits is reinvest it back in my business. And then on the next slide is going to be my capital needs. I do need a bigger car to go back and forth to different trade shows and vending because I have tables, chairs, I have tents, I have stands, all that type of stuff. So I need a bigger vehicle to be able to transport all that stuff. Also buying beads and materials, like I said, in bulk, so that way I can kind of protect myself from inflation. Marketing, travel and gas, and then the vending fees. So to kind of get my business to the next level within the next year, 20,750 is where I'm going to be looking at. And how I'm going to get to that is by revenue from sales, the RMMFI loan, grants, and also personal investments. So thank you for your time. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Naisha. That was great. I love it. And I loved how yeah, no, that was perfect. And I love how you broke down a couple of your items too. I know it's hard to like just pick one or two, and you have a bunch. So I'm happy that you showed, but I'm happy that you showed just like what's going on in your business too. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
All right, so let us see. We have, we have Tyrone up next. So Veronica is going to drop into the chat Tyrone's form. I'll give you a moment to finish up Naisha's form. And hello, Tyrone, how are you?
I'm doing great. How you guys doing?
Good. I can't help it. Every time I say your name, you already know. I'm like, you better call Tyrone. Call him. I can't help it.
So I'm good.
You're like, I hear that every day, Sydney. Stop it. Leave me alone.
Okay. You guys ready?
All right. Yes. Everybody go ahead and get Tyrone's scoring form up. And Tyrone, when you're ready, go ahead and get started.
How you guys doing? My name is Tyrone Hill, and I'm the proud owner of Ties Logistics. Are you okay? I'm not proud owner of Ties Logistics. We are a freight delivery company that takes pride in being timely and reliable, and most important, safe. The key. Oh, are you going to change the slide?
Just tell me next slide when you're ready. Sorry.
Okay, my bad. Okay. The key thing that must be done in order to get my business ready is to first obtain my DOT numbers, my US DOT numbers, buy a truck, and also get the proper insurance and licensing. Next slide. The major growth objection to accomplish in the first year is to show up on time. Show up on time, do the job right, and also keep up with overhead so I can make a profit. Next slide. The 3 indicators I will track to make sure my business is running successfully will be the continued cash flow, the customer feedbacks, and also the increased loads that I will be receiving over time. Next slide. Thank you. My average revenue per unit would be $500 per day. That would equal out to be 20 customers per month. Revenue total would be $10,000 a month. Next slide. My average cost per good sold would be $41.25 per day. My immediate fixed cost per month would be my truck, as you can see, $1,500. Insurance per month would be $817. And my gas price per month, this was calculated before everything that was going on, was going to be $825, but with everything that's going on, that price has to be tweaked. So my overhead would go up even more as of right now with the way gas prices are. In order for me to keep my business running, I have to make sure that all my fixed costs are covered every month. The profit that I will make, the profit that will be made at the end of the year will be $2,343. That money will be immediately invested back into the business. I would have, in order for me to reach those sales per month, I would have to at least sell 15. I would have to sell at least 15 units in order for me to break even. Thank you. The cash flow strategy I will be using to ensure that my business continues to operate would be open business account, manage business, never overspend, and also save money. Next slide. The major costs I discovered within my business plan is the truck costs. That'll be $45,000. Cost of insurance, to start that'll be $16,000. Those numbers are wrong right there. $16,661, I believe. And also the cost of my DOTs, that will be $300. And the funding sources I will be using for that will be the trading of my vehicle towards my box truck. The insurance startup cost would be, like I said, $1,661, and I will be utilizing that with a grant from RMMFI. Well, I mean a loan. That's supposed to be a loan right there. And for my DOT numbers, the funding source for that would be out of my savings. So that's my business plan right there. And that's me, Tyrone Hill, Ty Logistics. Thank you.
Awesome. Great work.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, awesome work. I love it. I love how your business is coming together. I remember we were in Idea Lab together.
Yeah.
So this is awesome. Are you proud of yourself? You should be.
Yeah, because it just being more confident about speaking about it. That's all it is. It'll come a lot more once I'm out there actually doing it.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, thank you guys.
You did great. Awesome. Well, thank you everybody so much for giving Tyrone some feedback. Next up, we have Ashley on deck. Hi, Ashley. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. We're going to give everybody just a minute to wrap up with Tyrone's feedback. And then Veronica dropped in the chat for us your feedback score or form. So, well, that's weird. I don't know what just happened. Someone's writing.
I was going to say, is that I touched my screen? Like, is that, oh no, that's definitely
No, it said Jarrett did it. Jarrett, I don't know what you did. but you didn't wrote on everybody.
That was my bad. Sorry about that. Yeah, I was actually trying to get in the chat to congratulate
Oh,
Tyrell. And I
okay.
ended up just scratching things off. I apologize.
No, you're fine. I don't even know how you did that.
I don't even know either. I'm apparently I have no idea what I'm doing, so I'm technologically inept. So
No,
apologize.
you're not. You're not. Zoom's adding some new features because I've never seen that.
I promise I like your first slide. I'm not trying to cancel it out.
I didn't
Promise.
take personal offense.
All right, cool. So everybody should have Ashley's form open. There were a couple of notes congratulating Tyrone. So if you don't mind, Veronica, can you drop Ashley's one more time just so it's fresh in the chat? And then Ashley, whenever you're, oh, thank you, Jarrett. You deleted it somehow. I don't know how you're doing that.
I figured it out. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm learning things. We're growing here together.
Okay. Yes, we are. Every day. Every day. All right, Ashley, whenever you're ready.
Hey everybody, my name is Ashley. Last time I was here, I had this slide up that said Vavim Marketing. It's the same company, I'm just trying on a new name. This time I'm rolling with the name Koshan's Collective. The reason being I hope to bring more attention and emphasis to the partners of subcontractors that I'm working with. So again, like last time, you gave me some great feedback on the name Vavim, and it encouraged me to change it up again. If you could please give me feedback on Koshan's Collective, maybe the next time you'll see me, I'll also have another name that I'll need feedback on. But I'm really happy to receive all sorts of feedback, good, bad, and ugly. So next slide, please. My management launch strategy is primarily focused on my one goal, which is a growth goal. I'd like to get to 100,000 in revenue, which is about twice the amount of revenue I had last year. In order to do that, I need to connect with larger size nonprofits so that I can fill the pipeline with bigger fish. I also need to build a backup team, like I just talked about, a collective of resources to handle client work when there's overflow. These people would be graphic designers, web designers, copywriters, and other digital marketers like myself. And the goal is also to raise current clients' hourly rate to the market standard. Currently, I'm dealing with a lot of nonprofits and I've heavily discounted their rates. So I'm hoping to get everybody a little bit up. Next slide, please. In order to get to those big picture things, these are the smaller tactical pieces that I have outlined for myself. Number one, join a networking group where large nonprofits are present. Speak at conferences for nonprofits about digital marketing and start relationships with subcontractors and interns now so that they're ready to go when it's busy. In the intermediate term, I need to reevaluate my financial projections that I'm going to show you today, add my contractors' payments into the cost of goods sold, and do 12 more SEO audits. So last time we saw my business cycle, it always starts with an SEO audit. This is a comprehensive analysis of how somebody performs on Google search. Every time I do and debrief an SEO audit for a client, I always end up with a future ongoing client relationship. That's 100% close rate for me. And I really need to do more SEO audits. And then in the really long term, I can get to my goal of raising all of my client rates to the market standard. Next slide, please. My key success indicators fall into 3 buckets. The first bucket is marketing KSIs. That's the number of SEO audits that I'll complete for new clients. My operational KSIs include the number of billable hours that I do compared to the number of non-billable, as in marketing and admin hours. And then the number of billable hours executed by me versus executed by my subcontractors. My final bucket, the financial KSIs, include my monthly profit, which is going to be my revenue, my cost of goods sold, and my fixed costs all combined into that profit number. Next slide, please. Like I said, this is a growth goal for me. I'm not launching, I'm relaunching. So I wanted to start with my last year's numbers. I completed about 50 grand in sales and I tracked about 1,000 billable hours, which translated to about 4 grand a month and about 90 billable hours. In 21, my average billable rate was just under $50 an hour, which is spread out across a really wide mix of products, from yoga teaching to full price SEO engagements. I also did a whole lot of unbillable marketing and admin time that it amounted to, I estimate, about 400 hours per month. So the total monthly cost of my unbillable time is about $1,000. Last year, I outsourced about $400 worth of work, and I'm hoping to raise that next year. Next slide, please. So in 2022, I am predicting $100,000 of sales in just around the same amount of billable hours. The way I'm going to do that is raising my average billable rate to about 112. That's again an average from my product mix. I'll still have the same amount of unbillable marketing and admin time, but I'm hoping to outsource far more of my work, about $5,000 as opposed to $500 this time. Next slide, please. Okay, my cost assumptions. For the financial piece, I just want to give a shout out to my mentor, Kathy. She was really patient with me because these numbers were hard for me to come up with. But because I'm a digital business and a service-based business, I don't have a lot of cost of goods sold. I do have virtual assistants, or those subcontractors I talked about. So the average rate of somebody to help me out is about $15 an hour. I think that I'm going to do about 260 hours per month of outsourced, making my average monthly COGS about $400. My immediate fixed costs really just include me. I would like to donate the full amount to my retirement account and my health savings account. I split my earnings between an owner's draw and an owner's salary. And I've got really low operating expenses, just under $2,000 for the year. I also put a little bit of budget in for a home office and continuing professional development and education. Next slide, please. My profit assumptions. So in order to break even, I need to make at least $6,000. That break even point includes my unbillable time and an annualized or a monthly average of all of my annual fixed costs. So to break even, I have to make $6,000 a month. And then to get a profit, I'm hoping to do, and I think I have the power to do, a monthly revenue of about $8,500, still with that same monthly COGS, but that would give me a gross profit of $8,000 and about $2,000 of net profit for the year each month. Next slide, please. My cash flow cycle is pretty simple. At most, a month can elapse between paying my subcontractors and collecting payment from clients. Most of my bills occur on a yearly basis, which confuses my cash flow a little bit because I pay all of the bills at one time. But my strategy to ensure that I have enough cash on hand is that subcontractors don't get paid until I have a signed contract and budget from clients. What I'm going to do with any net profits: my business bank account has a minimum balance of $6,000. So I really have to keep a lot of my profits in the business bank account just to not get charged. But profits over $6,000 will be moved into a high yield savings account and hopefully gain some interest. Next slide, please. Okay, I changed this slide a little bit because I'm a digital business and I'm service oriented. So I don't have a lot of capital needs, but that doesn't mean that I don't need everybody's help on this call. First of all, filling out those feedback forms that you're doing right now is super helpful. That's help already. But what else you can help me with is a referral to a mid-sized nonprofit that has a digital marketing budget. A lot of mid-sized nonprofits not necessarily going to have a budget for this kind of stuff, but that's my ideal client. I'm also looking for connections to international or student digital marketing professionals. These people have rates that I can afford and still make a profit if I outsource the work. Last thing I'm looking for is a lead to a networking group. So I saw Sydney posted some stuff in the chat. I'm more than happy to accept any kind of lead to a networking group that would host nonprofits, especially those that would be interested in a speaker for a technical thing of interest like digital marketing. Next slide. I think that's the last one. Yep. Okay. I went a little bit over, but thank you so much for your time. And yeah, thank you.
Great work. Good job. And I
Yay.
really like, well, first off, I agree with Rebecca. You definitely have the power to reach your goals. I like how you reframed that, Ashley. That was good. And I like how you did the ask there at the end, right? That call to action. That was pretty cool. So yeah. Good work.
Thank you.
Good work. All right, we have Tanika on deck. Tanika, are you there?
Hey, I'm here.
Okay, there you go. All right, perfect. You had to talk for me to be able to see you pop up. So
Oh.
perfect. Awesome. All right, so we're gonna let everybody wrap up Ashley's form, and then Veronica's gonna drop in the chat for us Tanika's form. Go ahead and open that up. And we'll give everybody a second. Tanika, give them a second. All right, so whenever you're ready to get started, go ahead.
All righty. Good evening, everyone. My name is Tanika Ship. I am the CEO and founder of Queen Ship. We are a program that offers services for girls, grades 6 through 12. We push into middle schools and work with girls around self-esteem, self-advocacy, and pretty much self-love. Our goal is to show up in school partnerships and empower every young woman to show up every day as the young queens that they are. As you can see, my Facebook and Instagram are live. If you have a moment, take out your cellular device and follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Queenship Empire. And if you want to hear from me, you can email me at tanika@queenship.org. Sydney, you can go to the next slide for me. So our management launch strategy for Queenship. We are already in kind of the second phase of launching the Queenship program. We're already currently in one school working on the second school partnership. So right now I am in talks with folks over at George Washington High School. So I am right now waiting to confirm that contract to start in August of 2022. I am also waiting to get the contracts from 2 additional school partners to sign those contracts and push forward moving and working with students starting April through May of 2022. Good news, Queenship team. Since last night when we spoke, we did secure the grant funding for summer programming. Woohoo. So we will be moving forward with hosting summer programming. So those things that were strategies are now ongoing now. So months 1 through 3, we're in the process of confirming contracts currently. So months 4 through 6. So this is going to start April through June. The goal is to partner with local colleges to recruit interns and mentors. So working with some of those freshmen and sophomores at these local colleges and pulling them in to be mentors. 6 through 12. So once I get to that 6 to 12 month mark, we want to be able to reestablish school partner contracts across all 4 schools, which is the ultimate goal. We can go to the next slide, Sydney. So my marketing key success indicators. One of the things that I have been doing is making warm, hot, and cold outreach to school partners. And so my marketing KSI is going to be every quarter to reach out to 5 potential new school partners. My operations KSI, when working with students, is I have created a survey that gets feedback from students on the program's success and some of the things that students would like to see in the Queenship program during the class. I will also pull data from DPS or APS, wherever the student school are, and see if there have been increases. So that's a little bit of operations. Financial KSI, position myself to start paying myself. And one of the biggest things that for a financial KSI is to hire an accountant so that they can go in and help me quarterly with bookkeeping, especially when interns come into play and I have to pay out stipends. Next slide, Sid. To the right there, that is just a flyer that I put up in schools for awareness around my programming. So the product or the service that I sell is enrichment or elective classes to school partners. I push in 3 to 4 days a week. My average sales price is $3,000 per month. The goal is to get 4 school contracts. And so that forecast is $10,000 monthly across 12 months. We can go to the next slide. So we're looking at cost of goods. So $3K per school partner, 4 school partners. What it costs me to do the work that I do is pretty minimal. Printing, mileage, cell phone are kind of the biggest costs that I incur. And so if you see my immediate fixed cost is payroll, supplies, and we do a monthly lunch and learn where a mentor comes in. And so that comes out of my revenue generated. All right, so my monthly revenue, we're looking at bringing in $10,000 per month based on just the school partnerships alone. This doesn't include grant funding that we'll be receiving. 7201 cost of goods and services. So my average gross profit would end up being $27.98, so $2,798. And my net profit comes to $1,548. So in order for me to break even, and I'm sorry, I forgot to plug that number in order for me to break even, I would need to bring in $7,200 per month, which means that I would need to have at least 2 school partnerships, potentially 3. And you go to the next slide. So the length of cash flow for our program, we bill the schools on the back end. So I provide the service, and at the end of the month, they receive a bill for the queenship services. So the way that I'm going to be able to pay the bills on hand is applying for foundation grants and business grants to kind of offset those costs that aren't being paid because of the cash flow cycle. Net profits for queenship, I want to place those in a reserve in a fund that is separate from banking and accounting, just to have that set aside for a rainy day, and want to continue to generate revenue. And I'll use that to pour back into the business, if that makes sense. We can go to the next slide. So what major costs have you identified within your management and financial plans? And so these are things that I've already paid out of pocket already. Insurance was the biggest bucket cost that I had to pay to launch Queenship. Printing cost, that can get expensive, but what I do is try and keep it low by partnering with the school partner to do my printing and the travel to and from the school partners. So $1,250 is what it took me out of pocket to launch the business. But some of the funding sources, like I said, that I want to reach out to are foundation grants. I've used personal savings, business grants, and eventually getting an RMMFI loan. And that is Queenship. Our goal is to empower all young women to show up every day as the queens that they are. And like I said, please follow us on Instagram and Facebook to learn more about becoming a Queenship mentor. Thank you.
Awesome. Good work. Good work. That was great. You're getting a lot of love in the chat too. Congratulations on securing it was your second school, you said?
I secured a grant.
Oh, a grant. Okay. That's awesome. Very proud of you.
Just got the call this morning. So
that is so great. You were a mover and shaker, by the way, too.
When it grooving, did I stay under 6 minutes?
Huh?
Did I stay under 6 minutes?
You were right over. It's okay. You were right at the end. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, up next we have Carrie. Hi, Carrie, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Awesome. Hello. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I like your blouse.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So let's give everybody a second to wrap up on Tanica's feedback. And Veronica went ahead and dropped into the chat already Carrie's form. So go ahead and open that up. And we will get started here in just a second. Okay, Carrie, whenever you're ready, go ahead and start.
Okay. So my name's Carrie, and I am a co-founder of Co-Creation Enterprises LLC. We are an art production and events company that's really passionate in involving humanity through experience and expression. So that's really digging into people's natural sometimes, or sometimes learned and forgotten abilities, attributes, skills, and talents, and bringing that out and kind of guiding them to see what their soul's actually trying to do. This slide. So last retrospective, I talked about our really gearing it towards our events and our customers. As today is showing again, it's snow, so it's a little hard to get people out to events during the winter. So we'll be focusing on our NFTs. So I actually went through a NFT launch with somebody else's art, and they actually made it really fun. We have several NFTs that we just put up for sale, but I've not actually done a launch. So this is kind of what it looked like. Like there was a reveal. They had 10,000 different ones that were available. This is the one I ended up getting. She's super cute. Like I remember being a Furby for Halloween in like 4th grade. So this brought back like all the memories, but there's a rarity level and all these different things that I can dive into later. But her rank is fairly high out of 10,000. So if you took the #1 rank, whatever the highest price that could be, I could be at least 6% underneath her and still be considered worthy. So that was just a fun experience. And so it just kind of gave me a lot of inspiration, especially during Women's History Month and International Women's Month yesterday, to kind of go forward in that and kind of launch myself. So you can go to the next slide. And this falls very well into the launch strategy part of this whole retrospective. So it worked out. But this next one, our marketing is really going to be geared towards getting into those spaces that I was in order to get into that minting process. So setting up our Discord, getting our Twitter going, which is up already. I said drop space, but I figured out crypto.com doesn't charge gas fees. So I'm going to go with them, but that's besides the point. And getting our domain name so we can do .nft, and then it's going to be that Alchemy of Stokies. That's not a place, that is a name I made up. Please don't get confused with the spelling, but it actually means alchemy chemist. So it's like stokiology is, yeah. But our goal is to get about 100 members on Twitter and Discord, because that's pretty much where people are, and then funnel them to the website where they can mint. The goal is to sell out a lot of good NFT launches. They sell out in about 5 minutes. That would be fabulous. I'm not doing 10,000, a lot. So our goals are pretty much to sell out of each installment next time. So I guess you can switch on. It's pretty self-explanatory. Our key success indicators, again, if we don't sell out in 5 minutes, is to get about 25 followers per week. Right now on the Twitter, there's already about 15. So that's kind of cool since I put it up yesterday. So that will keep flowing as I keep interacting with those networks. And then just doing those polls that Twitter and different platforms allow you to put out to people, like, are you going to buy this installment? Are you going to, do you want to buy the next one? Like, what are you looking for in the next one? Things like that. And then again, not to sell out. You don't sell out at least 25% per week. So Good. So in the Alchemy of Stokies collection, we're pricing it at around 0.05 Ethereum. So this morning when I did this, it was 130, but when I looked just now, it's like 136. So that fluctuates. There's 118 in this collection. So that's what I'll be like, that's the limit for this one. But that'll get us to just under 6 Ethereum, which is pretty good if we do it right. So we can go next. This is actually going to be a very cost-effective way to make a lot of money if you know what you're doing. So when I was first doing this, I figured the gas fees were going to be very expensive because that's what you hear. But like I said, crypto.com, shout out Lakers, has actually waived all of their Ethereum gas fees because Ethereum is getting better and everything's evolving. And it really is the wild, wild west. So I'm assuming a lot of these words I'm saying are very confusing to some people, but if you know, you can learn something and you can make good passive income this way. But yeah, the goal is just to get that website, again, that .nft, and then Canva to start that link website so everything can be bundled into one thing. Next. Profit assumptions, like the goal is to kill it. But again, I would be very happy to, sell 10 every time, because again, those gas fees are going to be minimal. Our fixed costs are fairly low compared to the revenue that we can make. So 10 out of 118 is about 10%. So we can fail and still kind of succeed. So that's cool. So next slide. Our cash flow, I'm going to make this within a week, and then hopefully sell it within the month. But again, we'll give ourselves that 6 months because that's kind of the idea of how to do it. And then we really just want to expand more into the crypto space so we can stake coins and things like that. You can go forward. And then again, our capital needs, just sell the NFTs and our own personal investment because it's fairly low. But if you guys would like to buy some, you can go to the next slide. They'll be coming soon. Yeah.
Awesome. Good work. You are truly a pioneer, by the way. And I just want to give you some encouragement. And first off, I appreciate that you acknowledge that not everybody on the call understands what you're saying. And I appreciate the fact that you have the foresight to get onto something before the train leaves the station. People used to say the internet was stupid and that it was going to be a fad. And now look at where we're at today. So you were very smart, and congratulations on what you're going to be doing with your digital artwork. That's really cool.
Thank you. Yeah, Web3 is here. Like, we've been in it. They just named it, and it makes people weird. But we've already been doing it. So yes, thank you.
I love it. Look at that, Chucho. Yes, buying the rumor, selling the news. Get your digital bag. That's right. Awesome. So up next, we have Tara. Hey, Tara. Hi. Let's give everybody just one more second to finish up Carrie's presentation feedback form. And Veronica just dropped us Tara's form. So I'll give it. Awesome, Tara. I think I told you this already. I really like your logo. It's super relaxing. Like, I look at it and I'm like, I want to be on vacation right now, today. I want to be there.
There's already been, I think, 2 more updates since that one. I'm working with someone to try to get exactly that feel that I'm going for.
Yeah, so, the right vibe. All right. So whenever you're ready, go ahead and get started.
Outstanding. My name is Tara Mastracchio. I'm the founder and CA of Samai. And just to bring it back a bit, we were talking about the retreat in Ecuador when last you saw me. Now from the operation cycle, I did take everything, all the feedback you guys gave me, and we're taking a bite out of that operation cycle. And that bite is the coaching that I'm doing stateside. So this is all about the coaching. So how do we get there? Next. That's a launch strategy. That's how we get there. So what we need is there's two aspects to the launch strategy. One, we have to exist, which means website, social media presence, the logo that we just talked about. Two, and that's all in process right now. The website, I've just got to learn a little bit more about website, but it has already been, purchased and such. Social media, I do have a Facebook. I haven't posted it yet because I want to have the logo. So next, we have to let people know that we exist. So that's going to be the networking with practitioners and podcasters. That's going to be obviously the registration with Colorado Secretary of State and our digital information, whether it be flyers or business cards. And then if we look a little bit further than that, we're looking at 1 month. So these are some goals, and I've talked to some other coaches, and they are lofty goals. However, I'm happy to aim for the stars, as you may have noticed in the last one. So 1 month, we're looking at 3 clients, 3 podcast commitments, and then start to move forward with planning the classes, the summit, and the retreat. So by 3 to 6 months, with that in mind, building very directly on that 1 month is those 3 podcasts I want to have completed. Will I plan, market, and facilitate a masterclass? And I start planning that trauma summit. We then move to 6 to 12 months, again, directly building off the 3 to 6 months, plan, market, and facilitate 1 mini retreat, plan, market, and facilitate 1 trauma summit, and continue the operations. Like, I'm keeping the big picture. This is still all to build that retreat in Ecuador, to create the reputation and the community to make that happen, and to be sustainable in the process and keep working stateside. Next. Okay, this is the goals. This is the KSI, aka goals. 3 sections of these. Marketing, number 1. I am going to have to hook up with some CMS. I need to monitor, evaluate, and then advance my standard operating procedure. I want to keep getting better and better and better. And what I put in the blue is do more stuff that works. I want to figure out what's working and then find a way to enhance that. So my goal is 25% follow-up from those who enter the site. So let's say you some way express interest. I want at least 1 in 4 of those people to take the next step, to make the phone call, to set an appointment, to buy in. And it'll go from there. Again, talking to other coaches, I realize it's not always a, hey, I like that, I'm going to buy it. That's not always. Coaching is an extra expense. And I see Sydney shaking her head because she's one of the people that said it. So she was one of those sources, reliable source, I'm hoping. So you don't jump in because it's extra money. This is not like I need toothpaste. This is something they got to think about for a minute. So I expect that. I accept that. And I'm trying to find a way to work absolutely with that and make it a benefit. Operations. This is going to be a qualitative as opposed to a quantitative area. I want to know if my time and money is equaling my revenue. I want to know if I'm getting as much as I'm giving. So if I'm putting my time and I'm putting my money in, what is the return for my own well-being and sustainability, whether that's financial, emotional, spiritual, because as you'll see in a moment, exactly what kind of coach I'm building. This will all make sense. Financial. I want to revise that financial document, which I do like a lot. A few things I want to change around to apply specifically to me, as Jeremy already knows, as Eric already knows. And I want to analyze that. I want to adapt and improve profit margins. My goal is to keep that gross profit margin above 50%. And I know there's a few things that I'm putting out there that will be below, and I want the average to come together at 50 or above. Next, please. Next is building that financial picture. So what does that look like? It looks like, and this is what I was saying, so my coaching is together, creating mind, body, heart, and spirit balance for a more fulfilled life. That's the idea. Everybody feels a little bit out of balance in one of those 4. Fortunately, I have a depth of experience in each of those 4. So we get to sit, analyze, discuss, come to like what is out of balance and put our energy towards that. What does that mean? That means my average sale price is $100 an hour, which is a standard rate. 125 may actually be even slightly more standard, but I'll start with 100. However, I will have packages and discounts that brings me to an average, of $92.50. The units per month on average, based on the numbers I put in, understand these are projections based on a little conversations and some guessing and some hoping. They're projections. So we're looking at 40.5 units a month. That means if someone buys a 6 appointment package, that's 6 units. However, the customers is 6.75 a month. So I'm looking at 6.75 customers equaling out to 40.5 units. They'll be buying them generally in 6-unit packages to get the discount, et cetera, et cetera. That puts my average revenue forecast at $3,746.25, which I know you're excited. That got me excited until I got to the next page of costs. So let's go to the next page. Now this is where it starts to hurt a little bit more. Average cost. This is a very much, this is not how much it's going to cost. Most likely we're talking about the space. If I want to use a space, so my dog isn't parking, though by the way, Arena, not only do you not lose points for having the kids in the background, you get points because you kept your focus beautifully. So you get extra credit for that, quite honestly, as far as I'm concerned. $25 for any time. I can get space for $25. I know that. I can get space for $10. I just wanted to keep the average high to keep my expectations low so I can always exceed them. So we're talking about that 40.5. We talked about average monthly cost of goods sold is going to be $1,012.50. Again, that's a high estimate. That way I always feel good. Immediate fixed costs, computer, I get tablet, computer, virtual presence, the website. Like I said, these things right now have either already been purchased and I'm just keeping the receipt. Don't worry, I'm keeping track. Insurance, from what I've heard from people, is about $360 a year. Thank you, Sue. Owner's draw, that's $10,500 for the year. And I think that's on the low side. So I think I'm going to want to bump that up. Gotta live. That's what I'm putting on there. Next, we're going to go to, all right, profits. This is the fun part. It's the part we like to hear a little bit more about. So we start with that 3746.25. We lost about cost of goods sold. Already talked about that. Average gross profit, 2,733.75. Net profit. This is where the number gets low, 1,129.17. What does that mean? That means what I need is 23.77 units. That's going to be my break even. That's what I want to know. That is my bar. Obviously, I want to exceed that. Obviously, the numbers I brought in almost doubled that. So that is where I'm aiming right there. Next, please. So the cash, what are we looking at? What is the cash flow? Basically, I pay for the space that I use the space, the client pays me, period. It is short time in that cash flow cycle. Strategy, I want to reinvest my profits, absolutely. I also do want to raise what I get back from this. The RMFI loan, though based on an email today, it may not be my best option. We're being told that actually that does not give us business credit, only personal credit, which I'm doing actually all right with on my side. So I need a little more education on that. My side hustles, I always have a side hustle, and my owner supplements. There we go. And my personal investment. So I'm just throwing money in, I'm throwing time in, I'm keeping that flow going. That's going to be the main strategy to ensure that cash flow keeps going, is my sweat equity. Strategy. Strategy for what to do with those net profits. Kind of what I say. I need to pay back the investment and pay myself. I'll leave it at that. Go ahead. Come on. Thank you much. Here's capital needs. Insurance, talked about that. Virtual presence, talked about that. Registration, I'm on the webpage. I got to kind of pull the cord. I haven't quite done that yet. Total 3,860. Funding sources, my own capital, my side hustles, and the loan. Go ahead. This is where I want you to take you to time. This is the thing I want you to pay attention to. Though that logo is changed, by all means, pay attention to it. What I'm doing is I'm looking to enhance lives. What I'm doing is I'm looking to bring more fulfillment into people's lives, whether it be here stateside through coaching or the big goal, which is a retreat. I do want to bring that exhale to anyone holding their breath. So keep me in mind, jot down anything you need there, and thank you for your time.
Woo! Good work. Good work.
How was the time on that?
Right over 7 minutes.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's okay. That's okay. Y'all are still making good time and you were almost done. So no need in me stopping you. If it gets a little long, that's when I kind of step in. So you did good. Great work. And I like how you brought that messaging of exhaling in. Like I think that's your money message, like right there. All right, so we have Chucho up next. Hey, Chucho.
Hey, everybody.
Awesome. We'll give everybody a second to finish up Tara's form. Veronica's going to drop into the chat your form. So let's give everyone a second. Let me get my timer up. All right, go ahead, everyone. Open up Chucho's form, and whenever you're ready, go ahead and get started.
Great. Hi, everyone. My name is Chucho, and I'm the founder of Llama Money, an ethically sourced apparel brand that prints provocative yet tastefully informed social justice statement pieces on the most breathable Pima cotton t-shirts. I started LM to be a tool to elevate and educate consumers about the various intersectional social justice movements currently being waged by frontline resistors and organizers. Why do this through a t-shirt? Because to me, art form is platform, and I believe our brand's artwork has a role to play in mobilizing the masses towards collective liberation. Now, let me walk you through what I have learned through MMFI's bootcamp. Next slide, please. I've learned that there's a lot of things to do before I can hit print on the merchandise. A lot of people might assume, oh, you're just making a t-shirt company. You just gotta make t-shirts. No. So the first thing I want to make sure that I have a good grasp on are drafts of my artist licensing agreements. And I will need to draft two kinds of art licensing agreements. One for the art that I'll be displaying on my website, and then the other one's for the merchandising. I want to be able to understand these terms and be able to explain them completely to artists. Next, I want to launch my landing page, and I'm currently working with a buddy who is using me as a part of his template for websites. So I appreciate that, zero cost. I want to recruit artists and organizations that I'm interested in working with. Their message aligns with me, and I'd like to help them elevate their message. And by virtue, both of our platforms can grow. I also want to recruit models of interest. And what I mean by this is fashion models. Since a lot of what LM is trying to do is elevate unheard voices, underrepresented stories, I'm trying to also represent underrepresented models. That's being body inclusive, non-ableist, putting models that are non-binary on these posts so that everyone knows that this is an intersectional movement, and Llama Money is keeping that at the forefront. Next, I need to commission an artist for some logo rebranding that I want to do. I need to secure a shipping contractor. And lastly, market. That means pre-launch and as well as during. If people don't know, your pockets don't grow. Next slide, please. So my immediate, important, and back burner goals, broken them down to, I hope to sell 85% of printed merchandise in the first 3 months. I say 85 because around 75, I can replace my current income, and that would be phenomenal if I can do that in the first, like in the first, I guess I'm chopping it up as like 6 months because I'm gonna have a fall line and a spring line. But not to complicate it too much, if I can get 85 of my printed merchandise sold, I'd be thrilled. I'm going to do that through marketing the crap out of it on social media and tracking my sales on Shopify. Next 4 to 6 months, I'd like to have 4 to 6 new artist organizations committed to collaborating. Because once a line goes out, I'm already working on the next graphic tee line. My strategy is to be disciplined about reaching out to these artists and evaluating my relationship management through CRM like Monday.com. In my 6 to 12 months, I hope to launch a spring catalog by March 2023. My strategy would be to successfully sell my first round of merchandise so I could fund my second line, or at least supplement my second line. And then my evaluation will be, am I ready to launch a second line or not? Next slide, please. In a recent class, Sydney asked us to imagine if we were stranded on an island and we could only ask for one piece of data point to help inform, and if we can make only one phone call to our like number two. And so I did that for marketing, operations, and financials. The three things in each of those that I would like to know is marketing. How many followers are we amassing? Because obviously we're trying to elevate unheard stories, underrepresented voices. I want to know how far it reaches. Operations, how quickly are our t-shirts coming? Last thing I want to do is piss off customers. And so I think that that is going to be a huge benchmark of when people order it to when people can begin to wear it. And financials, what is the most sold item, and sub bullet under that is what size. Next, please. Now we get into the fun stuff, financials. Graphic tee is my product. Average price sale, $50. I hope to sell 100 to 150 per month. That's 5,000 to 7,500 per month. Next slide, please. Some assumptions. It costs me around 15 to produce the goods. That's just producing, not including marketing or anything else. If I make 100, 150 sales, or if I'm printing 100, 150 per month, that's costing me 1,500 to 2,250. Oh, that's my timer. My immediate fixed costs will be my website domain, which I kind of already put down, my email, which I'm already currently paying, accounting, which is going to be annually, tax consultant also annually, legal services annually, biannually, because maybe I'll have a different contract for spring and fall, depending on how those conversations go, or if I learn one thing and implement it to the next iteration. And then my Shopify subscription for orders online. Next slide, please. Gross net profits. So some profit assumptions coming your way. Monthly average revenue between 5,000 to 7,500. That's assuming 100 to 150 shirts sold. Average cost of goods sold, strictly the tees, is 1,200 to 1,800. Average gross profit, that's not including the profit model that I hope to implement, 38 to 5,700. And then the monthly net profit forecast is 2660 to 3990. That asterisk is serving for keeping into some room for a profit sharing model. 975, if you look to the right, is going to be my monthly breakdown of what I'm spending all year long on marketing, on legal services, accounting services. I've broken that down and what that would be over 12 months. And in order to break even at my $50 price range and $15 to produce, I'm looking at needing to sell 28 t-shirts to break even each month. Next slide, please. My cash flow is 0 to 2 months. That's a big assumption. 0 being orders coming in through the pre-launch, and 2 months being hopefully orders being sold by the end of the 2-month cycle. I will be financing it, and what I will be doing with profits is reinvesting it into the next graphic tee line. Next slide, please. My capital needs, the big ones, are going to be the bulk order, the 2,100 for the initial line, and then 3,000. I know it's higher than the actual product. Surprised me too, but I think that that is a reasonable amount from everything that I've gathered. And then the initial legal services for the contracts, and then a tax consultant. Again, me, until I can find some investors. And that's me, y'all. Next slide, please. Feel free to reach out to me at my email, follow us on Instagram, and hit me up for any collaborations or people that you think we should be working with. Thank you.
Awesome. Great work. I'm really excited. I remember when you were in Idea Lab too, like last year, right? So
yeah,
I'm very proud of you. How are you feeling?
I'm definitely a lot more confident, I think, in communicating it. And audiences like this keep me accountable. So thank you everyone for being here and making me do this.
Well, good work, Chucho. That's awesome. And we have Rebecca up next. Rebecca, I'm loving your logo too. I'm like, y'all are showing out. People are coming up with logos and websites and Instagram links and everything. So good work. Let's give everybody a second to finish out Chucho's feedback and open up your form, and then we'll get you started. You're going to do great. Yeah, just take a deep breath.
Oh, I know.
All right, so whenever you're ready, go ahead and get started.
All right, hello, I'm Rebecca, and I am the co-owner, founder, housekeeper, handy woman, and I'm just your go-to gal lady. So my thing is that I don't do presentations and I don't do PowerPoints. I just clean and organize and fix your stuff at your house. That's what I do, and that's what I enjoy to do. This stuff is like super like, whoa. Just let me get to work and I'll be your best friend. And then you can go to the, and then, yeah, there's all my stuff. So for me to be able to be going and being awesome, I have to have, register, and then fill out for my loan. Oh, you got this one right before I changed everything. Bam, darn it. Okay, that's okay. So I changed a lot of this actually, like right when they probably took it. The businesses is first and foremost super, super important. And then actually I put, I need to prepare my estimates and invoices spreadsheet templates, so that way I can continue to use the flow chart that we have, because that thing is amazing. And then I have, oh man, I'm like, where is it? Because it's not on my screen anymore. Let me go to, I can't go to the other one, can I? Ta-da! You guys can just look at me and I can't look at you guys. Okay, so we're on number 3. Nope, number 2. Okay, so then I have prepare my new business cards with my QRs, scanner codes, so that way I can track people who actually get them. But then I'll have my flyers that I can post wherever I go, just because that's what I do. And then I'll also be flying signs in the people's yards that I hopefully get to work for. And that actually is also a price bracket I'm going to offer. So if they let me fly it, they get a discount. And then I'll have magnets and then templates for everything, because I have to have lots of contracts to be able to do my work. First and foremost, because people can sue me for anything and everything that they want to, just because they want to, which is horrible. But and then my biggest thing is I need to make a to-do list and a tools need list, so that way I cut down on my time that I'm using to be able to get things prepared for you, so that way everything is ready to go. You can go to the next one now. So I have for the management ongoing strategies for, I just have, I have to have my business account and my ID, my tax ID. And then the biggest one is I have to get a car, or not a car, a truck or SUV. That is the most important thing. And that actually is my biggest setback at the moment. And then, I mean, really 4 to 6 months, I mean, just keep going. I mean, I'm a working lady and I just work. I love to work and I love what I do. I mean, I don't know how many people you guys know, but I smile when I'm cleaning, or I sing and I dance. So that's, as long as I'm doing that as my strategy, I think we're good to go. And then you can go to the next one. So it says for key to success indicators. Well, if I'm making money, I think that's number 1. 2, and there was those KSIs, it's the QRs. Then there's the next door that if you sign up with to do their, what do you call that thing? My brain died. Sorry, yeah, I'm not even gonna explain it. Brain died. when you sign up to do like run your ad on Nextdoor, they show you like how many people are looking at it and that kind of stuff. I mean, they run it like constantly, and they should for $122 a month for my zip code, which was really cool. I loved how many people there were, so it's worth the money. And then we can go to the next one. So the financials. So I just picked one of my services, which was upkeep cleaning, and it really did an average sales. I had to say it was just depending on you, because I have a 3-tier pricing system, and it just really depends on how dirty you are. You know, like if you're like super clean, I'm not going to charge you an arm, and a leg. I'm going to just charge you a toe, because there's no reason for you to be priced at the same way when you're very clean. But now if you're dirty and you haven't cleaned your house in 5 years, now that's a biohazard. And that's something totally different. But everything is totally customizable. I really have geared my 4% to being families and middle working class. I would rather you be able to go and have time with your family and me do your laundry and me clean your house and fix your stuff than you missing out on time with your families. So that is really where I've geared and shifted to. And then I said that and then it just also depends on how regularly you come. Let's see. Sales is, it really just, like, I couldn't give like a percentage, like total pricing, just because, at least not in a way that I could, like on my projection sheet, like I'm in profit almost 90% of the time, simply because I'm smart on how I buy my products. And then also I really don't buy products. I know that's kind of a weird thing to think, but you're essentially paying for the labor. Some of the things, cleaning stuff, I bring everything. You don't ever have to bring anything except for your first initial time. All I have is you just buy the filters for my vacuum and my mop, because I don't share my germs with anybody. So what I mean by that is, it's $45 basically. You get both sets and they last for a whole year. And so when I come to your house, my machines are completely sanitized, and then I just plop in your filter. And so then I just use my cleaning supplies, my rags, my everything that I bring. And then I actually make my own stuff. I don't use like the carpet cleaners that are like $27 and you can only do like 2 rooms. That's a waste of money. I make a lot of my own cleaning products. So you can go to the next one. Sorry, I had to scroll down. So then it says, what does it cost you to make or deliver your product? For me to deliver is just, well, hold on. What does it cost you? Sorry, I can't really see out of my right eye, guys. Let's see, what does it? Okay, so my fixed costs are like my phone bill, Canva, which is how I made my logo, and then it's how I make my flyers, it's how I make my mailers, it's how magnet, everything. And then my insurance and bonding, that is my most expensive. I'm still currently trying to figure out the complete cost, but I got down to $148.60 a month. And marketing is about $130, which is pretty good. But that's really, and upkeep on my tools is really it on how much it's going to cost. And then cost of goods sold is about $3,500 is what I'm trying to project, which is about, if I just did just maintenance on 20 people a month, that's well enough for me to be able to start rolling over to where I'll be able to hire people, which is my ultimate goal. Oh, you can go to the next one, sorry. Financial profits assumptions. Let's see. I don't even know what is on your guys' page that you guys can see. Hold on. I don't think anything. Where'd it go? Okay.
And
Yeah.
Rebecca, I was just going to tell you, it's time to start wrapping it up too.
Oh, yeah. All right. Sweet. Well, that one we just released. Yeah. That one is, I'm mostly in the profit all the time, just because I've already invested in myself so much. And then 8 is just work hard, stay on track, and time management. There we go. And then 9 It's just, what do I need is just a vehicle and marketing. And then how do I get it? By working grants, working in loans. And then there we go. So I'm Rebecca and I'm a handy clean.
Awesome. Good work. I'm really excited for you because you do something, like I've said plenty of times before, you combine both services that are very much needed of housekeeping and keeping an eye out for preventative care for people's homes. So that's really cool and great work. You did great. I know you said you don't like doing presentations, but you spoke very well. Awesome. Okay. So everybody go ahead, and last but not least, we have Kiana up next. Hi, Kiana.
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you doing?
Good, good. Veronica just dropped into the chat for everyone Kiana's scoring form. So go ahead and open that up. And then Kiana, feel free to start whenever you're ready.
Yeah, can we start with the next slide really quick, please? Thank you. So hello everybody, my name is Kiana. I am the owner of Natural 3 Beauty LLC that is here in Denver, Colorado, that offers high quality feminine hygiene self-care products for healing thyself back to wholeness. Our mission is to create heaven on earth by making beautiful handmade soaps that nurture the mind, body, and spirit through self-care that inspires self-love. Not only does this product enhances the mind, body, and spirit, this product gives back to the population of women and girls of color who are experiencing oppression. The goal of this product is to empower the women and girls community to take their power back by taking care of their well-being as a part of the stepping stone towards breaking generational trauma that provides transformation through the healing movement of handmade soaps that is destined to make positive change. The next slide, please. So looking into the management launch strategy and like what it's going to take to like launch the business here, I still have a few things that I need to work on, but as listed here is I need to register the business LLC, register the business name. I'm still playing around with my business name. As of now, I just have a Natural 3 Beauty. Also getting insured is going to be important. And I have a few people already test my product. I'm hoping to reach at least 100 people to test a product prior to putting the product out there. The next step also is looking into more of like what packaging labeling is going to look like, especially with the FDA. Doing marketing sales, writing and designing a marketing page, creating the website. And also looking into in the future, the company structure more, what that will look like. Next slide, please. So for this slide, I'm discussing here more about the management ongoing strategy. I probably should have broken it up in like a few months sections of what that looks like, but because I'm just getting started, and what I would like to see within the year is to develop a strong branding campaign that will allow me to expand by building awareness and positive perception to increase sales of my products within my target market. I will also need to have the proper resources and tools and growth strategies to meet the demand of my products, as well as becoming more knowledgeable and experienced for the product that I wanted to serve to that I'm wanting to serve to my community. And lastly, just having organizational structure is important, having protocol and procedure in place and having clean and diligent accounting and bookkeeping, as well keeping everything documented will help me as well. Some key success indicators that are important along the way of my business is tracking engagement with online and social media platforms such as like the website, Instagram, having the tools that helps me keep track of things like bookkeeping and accounting, such as creating like a system to help me keep a track of these things. For example, using it like Excel spreadsheet, and currently I'm using our MMFI's financial workbook to help me create that system to keep a log of these things. I think also inventory is going to be important. Seeing like if I'm making enough product or if I'm not making enough product, inventory is going to help me keep track of the profit to see how much I'm making and how much it's costing to increase their production costs. And as I mentioned, like lowering costs to see what is needed to change in order to increase profit flow. So the inventory is going to be a huge piece for me in the manufacturing part. And then next slide. So going over my financial revenue assumptions, I guess this is like the goal if I were to start the business. I thought about like starting at selling soaps for $7.77. I do want to note really quick, the reason why I price a number in the same number line is because part of my soap has a spiritual element to it, and I like angelic numbers. So like they pop up a lot in my life. So it's kind of like a spiritual meaning, like 333, 444, 555. So that's why I priced it 777. If I were, to get this going and get started, I would like to sell at least 50 bar of soap per month. And after doing some calculation around that, the average revenue per month I will receive is $3. I mean, not $3, right? That's not enough. $388.50. So that would be the goal there. Continue the financial cost assumptions. After totaling up like the price of labor, the product, the materials, and the service, it came out to $5.50 per bar of soap. And again, like if I have it my way, I would just round it up to $5.55, so 555. And then after reviewing my intimate fixed costs, I'm looking around like 3,920 just for like website marketing, supplies, and a payment to myself. Next slide, please. And then just reviewing some financial profits assumptions here. The gross profit that would be left over for me as like for cost of goods is cover of $2.27. And if I were to sell 50, it would be $113.50. So I was able to look into it more and just like break down like how many units as I sell monthly to break even for those fixed costs, and that's 34 months to pay off the fixed costs. So that means I would need to sell at least 144 bar soaps per month to be able to pay off the fixed costs in 1 year. I'm hoping this is making sense with the financial part, but honestly, I'm still learning about the financial stuff and it's still taking time for me. I think it's just going to take some time until I really like tap into it and I get better understanding of it. But going to this next slide, just discussing the financial cash flow for this section here. So I think what's important is that I want to be in a positive cash flow for each month with the intention of paying off the fixed costs within a year, and to also make sure to not spend more than I don't want to go into too much debt. In order to be able to keep a track of these things is, checking on invoices with customers in a timely fashion. Also offloading inventory that doesn't sell well. So anything that like any product that is not really popular, just making sure I'm keeping a track of that. And also closely monitoring where I spend the money as well. It's going to be important. And these are my capital needs. I was able to round it up to 3,500. So it's pretty much close to that fixed cost as I was mentioning prior. And I think like was able to like fundraise all of this. I think one of the big aspects is my friend, he's investing into this business to like help with these costs, as well like me using my savings or being able to apply for the RMMFI loan. So those are my capital needs. And then I added this quote really quick, and it just says, the way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. And I realized that sometimes I would think it's harder to do in my mind, that it's complicated, but really it's just once you get started, it becomes naturally more easier. So I thought I'd just share that with everyone. So yeah, that's my presentation, and thank you.
Awesome. Good work. Great work.
Thank you.
I really like, and you made sense to me with your finances. I think just like once you start selling your product, it'll click more too, because you'll see it in action. But it made sense to me. So great work. And you're getting some love in the chat. And with that being said, we're going to move into our virtual feedback forum. I'm going to give everyone a chance to go to the restroom. Why don't we come back at 7:25, and then we will go right into those breakout rooms. So 7:25, and then we'll go into breakout rooms for about 15 minutes. All right, go ahead, take a quick break. See you here at 7:25.